Hello, hello, hello. I'm reading the chat, cracking up. Um, who was it said, I trust my dog? Jan, to answer the question who I trust my dog. Honestly, better than some of the things I'm going to talk about today. You're better off trusting your dog. Anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Off the Cloth. Go off the cloth. I'm in one of those moods. You know what it is? There's so much pressing from every side that I kind of get giddy. You know, I mean, Dennis walked in the office, my office yesterday. We were talking about something serious, and I pulled out my back scratcher and I said, "Well, one thing I know is my back scratcher is great. This is what I know today." anyway, anyway, enough of that. Enough of the playing. Let's get into things. I've got an interesting day planned. Wait till you see this. Yo, Jenna, man. Jenna, I got some news about Jenna too, but not yet. I can't give it to you yet. You know me, I love giving news, but sometimes it's out of God's timing. So it's not God's timing, but always trust a back scratcher. Yeah, take a look at this, baby. This is substantial. This is, oh, you can't see it. Okay, let me tell you what it is. You got to go look at the picture. Not liking that. Oh, you can see a little bit. See how it's got a broken heart and then it's patched, like it's patched. This is amazing. It's called This Heart Earned Every Scar. She calls it a survivor's anthem necklace. I got goosebumps saying that. This thing is, let me tell you, if you've been through it and you came out the other side, this is your necklace. She said we only have 5 of these in stock. They're on sale right now, and you get an additional 20% off. She said with our jewelry blowout sale going on right now. I'm telling you, in person, you're going to be like, ugh. It is absolutely, it speaks, man. It speaks. That baby's staying right there because God knows what I've been through, and I earned every single scar. And to tell you about a scar real quick, actually, a scar is the strongest part of your body. Harder to pull a scar apart than it is even your regular skin. Says a lot. Anyway, additional 20% off a jewelry blowout sale. Okay, then earrings. Now, I didn't put this on because I just, you can't see it if I put it on. So here's the earring, again, stainless steel. At the bottom here, that's a crystal, an Austrian crystal. At the bottom here, it says, "He is risen." Perfect, perfect, perfect for Easter. And Jenna said we also have the matching necklace. All the items are listed below in the description, easiest place to access them. But if you want to go on joyandcountry.com, go into my closet. It says Delora's Closet on the Joy and Country website. And this is what she said. We're doing a big jewelry blowout sale to move out inventory. Get 20% off all jewelry until Thursday, tomorrow at midnight. Automatic discount, no code needed. And then you get free US shipping as well. Okay. So the other thing is, taking back our health. Again, that's one of the ways that we raise funds to do all we do. Also, still working toward the Impact Center. It's just every road we've walked down has kind of been blocked. So I'm thinking it may not be the wrong timing and just the right timing. And just like what happened with the gathering, we waited 5 years and then in a moment it started. So we're trusting God with that. But all of these things that we do, that's the way we pay for what we do. Anyway, if you fill that out, taking back our health, I'll send you a couple videos about this health breakthrough. It's not a supplement. It's not a drink. It's nothing like that. It's so needed for 5G and EMF. The new technology changed our life. So that's that. I'm sorry I got a lot of stuff this morning, but what are you going to do? Now, Saturday, bum, 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 bum. You don't want to miss this. Oh. Saturday, online here, Facebook, and Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook. The 14th, 7 p.m. and quite a lineup. It's going to be pretty amazing. I think it's going to be a very exciting night. I don't think you're going to want to miss that. And then also, now up on our website, he is still on the throne. That's the National Gathering. The man with the beard is Stephen Freeman. He is the pastor of Bread of Life Church in Avon, Indiana, where this will be. It is our second national gathering in Indiana. Is like in a bit of a central place. If you're in Chicago, all surrounding areas, Nashville. I mean, you guys can make it here. It's going to be a pretty amazing time, and tickets now you can get. So go on thegatheringmovement.org, just like on the bottom of that flyer, and go up on top to gatherings, and then go down and you'll say click the poster, and you'll get all the information when it brings you to where you can actually get the tickets. Tickets are free. They are always free. If we have to start charging because we just don't have enough money, we just don't do one. That's where we're at. So anyway, that's that. Let's get going here. So now this is about what we deal with every day. Okay. Basically, it's about the authentic versus the counterfeit. I'm going to give you a little bit of a background, a little bit of foundation, like I always do. And then I'm going to go into certain things that you have to be aware of, especially now. There is more division now than I have seen in many, many years. But if you watch me, you know I'm all about unity. And people are starting to get it. They really are. All these factions are created, to divide us. Black against white, Republican against Democrat, religions at each other. I've said this many times. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat or a Libertarian. Have I voted Republican? Yes. I will pick the person that mostly aligns with the values that I uphold, which are biblical. Okay. And it's not like I open the word and I'm like, okay, well, then I'm going to vote because this says that. No, I live that. I live it. So if a Democrat comes along and follows the Bible and what I believe is closest, I will vote Democrat. I'm not a partisan person. I happen to have voted Republican because it was the one that aligned closely with my values. But sometimes dividing is called for. Now I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. Because God is in the process of dividing right now. Do you know that? I'm telling you, God is in the process of dividing on his terms. Not to divide people, but to divide those who are authentic from those who are counterfeit. And that is the truth. People are being exposed everywhere. We're writing a new book. Should be done in probably available in the next couple of months. That book gets down and dirty. Oh, does it get down and dirty? Wow. We are revealing tons of circumstances and experiences that we've held back for many, many years. Not to hurt anyone, not to hurt any ministry, not to point a finger and say, you did this to me, but to understand that those of you that are hurt, those of you that had church hurts, those of you that have been ostracized, those of you that have been, you are not submitted. You are not this. You are not that. Can you drink wine? You can't. I don't want you drinking wine. You're in our ministry. You don't drink. No, you can't. Look, there are still people arguing over if women should speak, and the world is falling apart. Or if we should, can you have a glass of wine? Well, doesn't it say it's not drunk as you suppose? I mean, Timothy, even it was Paul and Timothy were talking about wine for your stomach. Look, we have to let this stuff lie. We got bigger fish to fry, guys. God is not in that. We need to divide. So we have that book coming out. Again, people are going to know who we're speaking about. Although there are churches we have gone to and we have ministered in, and we have that people don't know about. We have gone from north, south, east to west, and a lot, because we knew so many people. The minute we would sit in a church for more than 4 weeks, we would start being called up, and we would be like, here, prophesy, do this, do that. And the thing is that we ended up learning about people. We've rubbed shoulders with some of the biggest names in Christianity. We've seen a lot. So God says it's time now. Oh, that person, I wish they'd please stop. Hold on, guys. Okay. So this is what you need to know. Most churches, sadly, it is most, need to stop living for their pocketbooks once and for all and follow Christ. Truly. This is why Dennis and I ended up not putting up a brick and mortar. We're not going to stand and take an offering because we have to pay a bill and ask people, well, you know, if 1,000 of you give $100, that giving, sowing is scriptural. Manipulation is not. As time passes, you're going to see more and more people leaving institutions they were part of, even online ones. It's already starting. Platforms I would never go on. People are going to start leaving. Churches they belong to, ministries, and they will feel alone. Some of them don't have enough of a following. They will feel alone. I know many people in our community email us and thank us for what we're doing, that they feel a part of a people that are following Christ at all costs. Look, guys, the road is getting very narrow, and God's doing that, not man. So who is who? Oh, there are many types. Let's go through a few of the types. I've said this before. Bandwagon folks. You know the bandwagon people? Spoke about them a couple weeks ago. You know the ones, they jump on the bandwagon. There was a whole big thing. And you don't realize, did you ever wonder why everybody's questioning Jim Carrey? Because there's a group of people behind that trying to distract you. There's a group of people behind that have an agenda. You understand? And everybody jumps on the bandwagon. Look for bandwagon people. Don't trust them. Don't trust bandwagon people. I don't care how it looks like they prophesy. Bandwagon people do not hear from God. They jump on the bandwagon. You know, we were laughing. Dennis and I were laughing because when we stopped, well, God stopped Fab 4 and we started the prayer connection. Okay. It was 8 weeks ago this Friday. When it stopped, when we started doing that, we did not know why. And here we are in the throes of all kinds of things. But we knew that once we started it and we said God wanted us to do it, all of a sudden you're going to see people, all of a sudden, we need to pray. We're having this one on to pray, and we're going to pray for this. And here we go. And we become the new bandwagon. So it's just incredible. Well, then there are others that are paid to spread disinformation. These are the worst. These are the worst. These are the worst. And they're all over the place. They see what resonates. I'm gonna be anti-Trump for a minute. Let's see what they say, because if I have a bigger audience that's anti-Trump, I'm gonna do that. And oh no, then there's the, I'm gonna go along with such and such saying this, and maybe I'll have them on my show, and let's see if more people, because I can get more people to watch, and then the stuff that I sell, I can grift more off of everybody. Yes, they come in all shapes and sizes, male, female, Christian and atheist, big shows, small shows. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Manipulators is another huge group, especially in government. They'll do or say anything as long as they get ahead. Half the people that are pro-Trump can't stand him. And the minute Trump is not the new best flavor of ice cream anymore, they'll be with someone else. That's the manipulators. These are the people that last year professed a laundry list of items that they were for or against, and this year suddenly they're the opposite. You know those people? It's just whatever floats their boat, whatever works for their audience. You think they get hate mail and death threats like I do? I don't think so. You might love some of these people. You might follow some of these people. But here's the wake-up call. They're all on the same team. It's a big club. We ain't in it. They might have different beliefs. They might even speak differently. Do you know that there's a ton of Democrats and Republicans that are really on the same team? They have the same goal. You know that? You remember how close the Bushes used to be with the Clintons and the Obamas? Oh my goodness. Remember the day that it was I forget whose funeral it was, and they were sitting there. They all got past those envelopes. And before the envelope happened, George Bush handed Michelle Obama gum that he always hands her. On paper, they're opposite. In reality, they're the same. I've said this many times. Many people don't believe me. Bush got in with a flip of a coin. As we're all engrossed with hanging chads in Florida. They're in the back room laughing at us, flipping a coin. The two-party system is a fraud and a facade. It hides what that person really stands for. And then people get mad at a Republican when they vote with the Democrats. Or people get angry at somebody like Fetterman who votes with Republicans. No, they should be doing that. That's what they should be doing. They should vote where it's right. They should vote where what is correct and aligned with the Spirit of God. That's where they should vote, whether it's Democrat or Republican. It doesn't matter. We got to get rid of those titles, or we're never going to know what what people really stand for. Congress is a joke. Okay? It's a joke. I laugh when people watch the State of the Union. They think this is all like one side against the other. When are people going to wake up? It's a joke, and the joke's on us. Keep the people in line. Keep the people in line. That's what we got to do. You keep them in line. You have to, because if we're not in line, we expose who they really are. I will, at some point, and it's close, go through every single congressperson, congressman, congresswoman, and say who they are, who they really stand for. I'm close to doing it. I really am, because I know it. I will go through what they voted for and what they didn't, why they changed. Why? Because they don't want to be called out by President Trump? Is that why? Which I don't agree with, by the way, with President Trump. I don't like name calling. I teach my grandchildren not to do that. I don't like it. Okay? So we need to find out who the real person is. Name calling and all the rest of the crap divides. It divides. It hides who they really are. It's gaslighting. All right, so let's talk about what this stuff really means. Authentic. What does it mean to be authentic? I'm not angry, by the way. I'm really actually very excited to deliver this. This is my heart. When you see this passion, this is my heart. I want to punch someone. I literally want to walk up to them, lose my salvation, and punch them when they try to divide people. Nothing makes me angrier. I feel like Jesus when he whipped the money changers and threw over their tables. That's what I feel like. Authentic, something genuine, original, true to its essence, true to who we are, the real deal. Counterfeit, on the other hand, an imitation of the authentic. Hear what I said. Counterfeit is an imitation of the authentic. Sometimes they'll say such amazing things, all true. Then they'll slip in a ringer. And you're like, well, they were true all that other time, so they're true now. No. Authenticity fosters trust, while counterfeit leads to fear and disillusionment, broken connections, lack of trust in anything or anyone. How many of you, look, you guys, you didn't even know what I was going to talk about. And at the beginning, they said, well, who can you trust? And you started talking about the program and how I can trust my dog. Love that, Jen. I can trust my dog. You know, that's what I mean. Who do you trust? Who can you trust? So it makes you disillusioned. Before you know it, you turn on that one, the lover of your soul, Jesus Christ. So let me just give you a real quick couple of biblical examples. I'm going to go down another road. Matthew 23. Jesus confronts the Pharisees. Basically calls them counterfeits. Outwardly religious, elaborate prayers, rituals, you know, inwardly hateful, hypocritical, and self-serving. Then there's David. David, the Psalms, raw honesty. For example, Psalm 51, where he confessed and said openly that he has sinned rather than hiding behind a facade. Look, personally, in today, in this environment, this means in modern life, we might attend church, you know, and you're thinking you're there and everything is true and real and it's nothing but a counterfeit show. Authenticity requires vulnerability, raw, heartfelt connection, transparency with God and with others. Now, let me just do a little aside here, okay? Dennis and I have changed our website, and this is the thrust. If you haven't been on it lately, go to thegatheringmovement.org. We're hitting things head on. You're going to see it on there. The time for real to come forth is now. Okay? It's time for those who are authentic to come forward. God isn't waiting any longer. We feel this like I can't even tell you. And you want to know what's going on? He's connecting us. Do you see? Now, let me tell you, for those that have been following me for a few years, about 1.5 to 2 years ago, and you know this, Holy Spirit, I knew it. I knew it, said to me, get out. Don't go on any shows. Don't have anybody on. That was it. Done. Done. I listened, prayed with Dennis. We both got a witness. That was it. It has been almost 2 years. We've only had family, so to speak. Come on. Those that we know their life. We know who they are. You understand? Part of our gathering team. Now, suddenly, he's connecting us with different people in different parts of the country because we're all moving in the same direction. We're all in lockstep. Reformation rebels. Not changing what is good in the church, reforming what is wrong. Mammon runs the body of Christ. Mammon runs it. It's run by mammon. Run. For years, I could say very little. I was like, Now, it's like the shackles are removed. The chains are gone. When you read our next book, you'll get it. We reveal instances, experiences in different churches, different ministries that we never could have before. We don't name the ministries. We're not trying to destroy them. We're trying to awaken them. People need to hear it now. They need to relate. We need to be raw and transparent with each other. The day of playing church is over. Those days are long gone. Look at the parable of the wheat and tares, Matthew 13, I think it's verse 24. It says so much. The enemy sows counterfeit weeds or tares, as a couple of translations says, which means wheat, among the genuine wheat, mimicking the wheat. See, the counterfeit mimics the authentic until harvest reveals the difference. Oh, we are in a harvest right now. We are in the days of harvest. All the wars that are happening, which I don't agree with, by the way, and I'm not going to go down that road today, but I've got a whole scriptural thing about this. Do I agree with people being killed in their own country? No. But I want to speak to someone who was there and their family was killed. Could we do that? You know someone? Please tell them to come on my show. I want to hear it from people that live there. I no longer believe anything. I believe nothing. Unless I see it, I don't believe anything because I know we are programmed to believe certain things, to create a certain scenario and a narrative and an outcome that they want. Anybody have that person? Why do I believe in the Holocaust? I know it happened. Why? Because when I lived in stinking Agawam, Massachusetts, not that it's stinking. Those of you that live in Massachusetts, I love Massachusetts. But when I was living in that town, I knew a woman that had a number on her arm. She used to speak to me. She was like 85 years old, 80 years old at that time. That's how far back it was. Look, in today's context, social media, Christian influencers, peddling prosperity gospel, scams. They're scams. Promising quick riches through faith donations versus authentic ministries focusing on taking the money and putting it to service without strings attached on a personal level. Okay, you and me, all of you watching, those that will watch, on a personal level, it challenges us to discern real growth in our lives, genuine character development from superficial habits that mimic success but yield no fruit, or that mimic the authentic. You know, everybody has their sayings. You know, if you follow this person, they say that. If you follow that person, they say, even us, Reformation rebels, we all have our own things. With us, we stand behind it. I don't even know who else does anymore. I know a few people now. We're getting connected with them. Same spirit, same authentic Jesus, not for promoting and look at me, look at me. None of that. Anti-narcissistic. 1 John 4:1. Test the spirits to see whether they are from God. This emphasizes discernment. God, if you ever pray for anything, pray for two things: discernment and wisdom. Discernment, authentic prophets versus counterfeit ones. And if I can say something, true prophets are rare. Look at how many hundreds and thousands, couple thousand years it's in the Bible, and how many prophets came up? Like what? So now there's pop-up prophets everywhere. You're online. You don't know that person's life. You don't know what they are, who they are. You don't know the house they live in. You don't even know most of their families. It has to be, we have to evaluate what we're doing if we're going to go to the next level here. We have to authentically seek truth through critical thinking and prayer. Counterfeits echo what others say. They echo it all the time. And that leads to anxiety and usually fear. Do you know how many people say to me, email me and say, Delora, I trust you. Is this true? I watched it and it put me in such fear. Do you know what I write back? Don't watch that person then. Stop. Don't do it anymore. Look, here's the issue. And here's what the book, our new book, is a lot about. It's about being chained to people you see on your computer, on your phone, in your church. You're chained to them, what they think, what they believe, what they are, who they follow. No, the day to hear from God ourselves is come. We don't need an interceptor. We don't need the man in the booth that opens it up and you say, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. Those days are over. We are in the day of the harvest, guys. That's the day where you're not going to hear this anyplace else. You're not. You're just not. We're in the day of the harvest. And if we don't get authentic, we're never going to fulfill the mandate that was put upon us to preach the gospel in all the world. God's going to use this war. Believe me, he's already using it. I love this scripture. Proverbs 20:17. Food gained by fraud might taste sweet, but one ends up with a mouth full of gravel. You like that one? That's Proverbs 20:17. Go read it. Go read it in a bunch of translations. It's really awesome. This speaks of the short-term appeal of counterfeit gains and and itching, you got that itch, got to get scratched. You have itchy ears. You want to hear the next thing. You want to know what's really going on. Ask God. Ask God. Ask God what's going on. Spend time with him. Spend time with him. Sit in your closet and say, God, speak to me, and then shut up. Open your mind. Let him in. That scripture speaks of that short-term appeal versus the lasting satisfaction of authenticity. Judas's betrayal for 30 pieces of silver. Go read it in Matthew. A counterfeit loyalty, but he ended in regret. Short term. He ended up with a mouthful of gravel. Wolves in sheep's clothing. We hear that all the time. Oh, she's a wolf in sheep's clothing. I love people that say that so quickly about someone. My God. We have so many armchair gods around. I can't say that about unless I know. How do you know? I don't know. I think the church is full of narcissists and armchair God quarterbacks. I don't know. Why do I know nothing and everybody knows everything? I don't know. I don't know if Candace Owens is telling the truth or she's just a plant. Tucker Carlson, didn't he stand next to President Trump at the inauguration? Did he lose his mind? Or is he telling the truth? I don't know. If you know, maybe you can tell me and then tell me what God said to you. And then I'm going to compare it to the word and see if it lines up. 2 seconds, guys. I've said this many times and I'm going to say it again. When you work in many ministries like Dennis and I have, and we've been ordained by several different ministries from north, south, east, and west. And you see behind the scenes in a brick and mortar church, as well as Christian pastors, prophets, influencers behind the scenes, all that I've seen and heard, enough is enough. Donna Russell, what's going on with those two? I don't know, my friend. I don't know. But it's one of two things. They're either really correct or they are a plant. It's the only two choices we got here. I look to hear from them and everyone the word of God. Elevating Jesus. That's what I look for. I hear that, then my ear starts perking up. Not that the devil can't talk about Jesus. He can do that too. A lot of people hear from the second heaven say they heard from the third heaven. Enough is enough. If I don't know the person, how do I discern who is who? I just told you. Lifting up the name of Christ. God gets all the glory. That's why the takingbackyourourhealth.com, that health, people who come in realize the people that are over this company don't even give God the glory. Can you imagine? Give God the glory. That's why I'm so involved in it. Social media personas, are they authentic? Do they share ups and downs of their life? Do they ever admit that they don't know what's going on? That they're like you? And they're sojourning through this life like you are? Or do they set themselves up to be it? I'm it. Are they authentic? Do they share maybe their health struggles with you? Their mental health struggles versus counterfeit filtered lives. You don't know who they really are, who their family is. I said that before. Anything about them. They make you believe they're always right. When they're not right, they blame you. You didn't pray hard enough. They claim to know what others do not. Hot word off the griddle of God that you just heard in the news or was said a month ago, or another prophet said it, or, and then we're back to bandwagoning. What are they doing really? Where do they live really? What ministry do they give to in this world? What do they do to help widows, help those, the homeless, help those that need food? What do they do? Do they charge to go to their stuff? Like the Pharisees' public displays, many of today's influencers might post for likes rather than truths. Personally, embracing authenticity means posting with intention, reducing the mental toll of keeping up appearances, fostering deeper online communities that love each other, that are there when the crapola hits the fan. A few months back in prayer, Dennis and I knew that we had to start the prayer connection, corporate prayer. From 2015, a lot of you probably remember this, to I believe it was 2021, we had prayer by phone, had hundreds of people on that joined us on the phone. Again, I didn't have a platform at that point. And we prayed. And we prayed for President Obama. Yeah, we did. It's like wishing the pilot of your plane would die. Okay. We prayed for Congress. We prayed for what was going on in the world. We prayed when President Trump came down that escalator. We prayed for him. We prayed for all those that felt. We prayed for personal prayers. So now on Friday nights, this Friday night is our 8th prayer connection. Now we're doing it online. People are asking, and rightly so, I understand they miss Fab 4. I get it. I kind of miss it myself. I had a lot of fun on it. That was our most popular show. Some nights, nearly 2,000 people would be live streaming it. And it was a lot of fun. And we brought a lot of truth. And it was timely truth. And it was truth that needed. And we had a lot of laughs with each other. It was a type of relief. That was that season. I don't know if that season's going to come back. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. I don't know. We lost a ton of people on Friday night because we're doing prayer connection. I don't understand it. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not looking at numbers. I just wonder when I see that number, what is that? We're now on the front lines. You're going to see on our new website several places it says, "Welcome to the front." We are now on the front lines. If you're a soldier and you're on the battlefield and you're in a foxhole, you don't say, "Hey, let's take a break. I need a couple of laughs. I need some relief." You can't, or you'll lose the war. You can't do that. We didn't know why we had to start it. We did Fab 4 for 4 years. We knew we had to start prayer, but we were obedient. And now the war wasn't going on when we started it. And now that prayer connection's needed more than ever because we heard from God. We didn't bandwagon. Oh, that person is doing that. Oh, they're getting a lot of people. Well, we're going to do that. No. But let me just take a quick turn here, okay? I want to get this all in. Fake and counterfeit is everywhere. AI. AI. You don't need to write songs anymore. You just tell AI what you wanted, and I didn't realize that. I didn't realize it until it was, when was it that our son and his family came? Oh, Thanksgiving. Yeah. So our son and his family came to our home for Thanksgiving. And, our grandkids are like looking out because they're like, they never saw an alligator up close and personal. And we have a pond in the back of our house, but it's a real pond. It's not a fake one. And the pond has like waterways that go from one pond to another. So Fred the alligator, we have one pond. We named him Fred, one alligator in the pond. And Fred the alligator, is there maybe, we see him maybe once a week, once every couple of weeks. So what happened is they were here, and Fred the alligator, his head comes above the surface. He's a big sucker too, man. He's about 12 feet long. So his head comes above the surface and he glides along. And so my grandson, who's a teen, said, oh, I'm going to make a song about Fred the alligator. Well, little to my shock, he goes into this website and he talks and he says, here's the lyrics. I want Fred the alligator song, blah, 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 blah. And within 2 minutes, there's this like top 10 hit of Fred the alligator. I'm like, what in the world is going on? You can do anything. You can create art to look like a watercolor of anything you want. Mimics anything. That's authentic creativity of a human being going by the wayside. It's very, very upsetting to me. Very, very upsetting. It's like idols in Isaiah 44:9. Man-made, fakes, worshipped as real. Chat GPT. It's tempting to pass off AI as your own work. It's tempting. But if you have an eye and an ear, you can tell the real from the fake. You can tell the authentic from the I can't think of the other word. Oh my God. I got too much in my brain, guys. You can tell the real from the fake. Let's leave it right there. Okay? I personally believe that doing things on your own builds skills. It builds self-respect. You're owning your own voice. Counterfeit. ChatGPT, counterfeit. We live in a microwave society. We have authentic grassroots activism versus online counterfeits to fake public support and make money. I don't know what is going on. I got about 1,000 people trying to get a hold of me. You have no idea. Let me do something right here. Hold on, I should have done this before. The powers that be will put a stop to anything that can get us to question the narrative they want us to believe. Guys, the authentic right now is hidden. Everywhere. Everywhere. It's hidden everywhere. It's hidden. Let me give you an interesting example. Nikon P1000. I don't know if you're aware of that camera. I'm aware of it because Dennis is kind of a camera buff. He's got a lot of old cameras. He used to love it. He used to love, doesn't do it so much anymore. We don't have time, but he's got a lot of these old cameras. Well, the Nikon P1000 isn't made anymore. It was one of their best-selling cameras. Why do I think it's not made anymore? Because you could zoom on ships 100 miles away and see it, the full ship, when it was supposed to have gone over the horizon. You could zoom in on the moon. It's supposed to be 235 miles away and see it up close and personal. Now, if you want one, you probably can find one from, like on, Etsy or eBay, a used one with a private seller, but you can no longer buy a new one from Nikon. Carteria, now laughable by many people, because what has happened is all that truth came out, and the truth about all the buildings and how did they build, like the Empire State Building, erected in one winter during the Great Depression, in one of the worst winters that ever existed. How did that get built? And people are on the roads with horse and buggies and first cars. The authentic versus the counterfeit. The orphan trains. What happened? What happened? Does anyone know about the orphan trains? I'm going to do a whole show on the orphan trains. You can't even imagine. 200,000 kids in 1 year, gone. The trains were a front. It was a supply system used for labor, trafficked into elite hands. Records were manipulated. That's why they set up orphanages. You notice there's no more orphanages? This was the beginning of the institutional child disappearance model. That's still happening today, though. It's still happening today. Cheyenne Mountain. What is it really? Is it really that? How would we know? Is there gold really in Fort Knox? Really? Why are there tunnels under Cheyenne Mountain everywhere? Are there tunnels under the entire United States? Look, there's so much I could pull out of the air. Questions, asking, history. Does that really happen? Did that really happen? What really is going on? You want to know why? Because when you're authentic, you hear from him. Spirit of God in here. God right up there. You hear from him. I could spend all day. It's now almost time to wrap this up. So I'm going to wrap it up. Okay, I got more, but I'll do another one of these, but I'm going to wrap it up with the ultimate truth. Who is the one true God? You just going to believe that because your parents told you? Because the guy that wears a suit on Sunday is reading out of the word of what he calls the word of God? Or can we prove he's the one true God? Can we do that? The best way to prove who Jesus is by proving who the others are not. So let me do it real quick. Let's look at Buddhism. Really big religion. Right before Buddha died, he said to his people, go and seek truth. He also said, all components and things of this world are changeable and they are not long lasting. Now that's a truth right there. But he said, go and seek the truth, not that he is the truth. Buddha's body is buried in Penang, China. You can go see it. You can go see that. Islam, second biggest religion in the world. Muhammad is believed to be the seal of the prophets. In other words, the last prophet. But right before Muhammad died, he stated that he does not know the purpose of life. Muhammad's body is buried and located in the Mosque of the Prophets in Medina, Saudi Arabia. Confucius, big leader. A lot of Eastern people follow everything he says. He's known as Master Kong to those that follow him. Prophet, philosopher in the Asian culture. Right before he died, he said, you can look this all up in all of their own things, I am not the way. Confucius is buried and located at Khufu in Shandong province in China. So let's go ahead. Let's go to Jesus. Man, born of a virgin. Come on. That's impossible. Are you kidding me? His tomb is located in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, located in Jerusalem, Israel. But the difference between him and all the others, and I could give you a laundry list. You all know what I'm going to say. The body of Jesus is missing from that tomb. The tomb is a monument to him. He's not there. He's risen. Out of all the religions, Jesus is the only one that spoke with authority. I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no man can get to the Father but through me. How do Christian lies, how do they lie? How do these influencers that are lying, or pop-up prophets, how do they do it? No fear of God. They don't really know. That sentence alone, I'm the way, the truth, and the life, and no man can get to the Father but through me. No one else in the history of mankind has ever walked the earth, conquered death, and rose again, but Jesus Christ Almighty, the Messiah. Yes, the ultimate truth is Jesus is the one true living God. Seriously, the rest that is all happening everywhere around the world, it doesn't even matter in the light of that truth. That's the ultimate authentic versus counterfeit. The world is flooded with counterfeit, from deep fakes to robots to clones. The Bible calls us to authenticity as a path to freedom and purpose. Personally, living really authentically today means auditing our own lives. Are we rooted in truth? Are our actions rooted in truth? Or are we counterfeiting for approval, for likes, for money? Are we bandwagoning and regurgitating other people's things so they will have the newest spin and just add to the noise? Or are we just speaking what we were taught and not sure it's even true? I would really meditate and reflect on Romans 12:2, especially the Amplified translation. I'm going to end with this. And do not be conformed to this world any longer with its superficial values and customs, but be transformed and progressively changed as you mature spiritually by the renewing of your mind, focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes, so that you may prove for yourselves what the will of God is, which is good and acceptable and perfect in his plan and purpose for you. Don't conform to counterfeit patterns. Transform your life through genuine renewal for a life of real joy, peace, and purpose. I was going to take questions. I didn't think this would be that long. I did a lot off the cuff. I will do another one. I might do it next week about revealing truth. I have another layer to this that goes even deeper. It's time for all of us to call out people that we know are spreading wrong information, that are living in misinformation, that are really not echoing the words of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. It's time. It's time, guys. I'm going to just talk about, I'm going to take this off again and show you real quick. Please don't leave if you're watching. I'd like you to see this. Maybe you can help us out. This is a heart, perfect for today. You can see it's got a crack down the middle, and it's got like staples that are keeping this heart together. It's really substantial. It's called This Heart Earned Every Scar. Survivor's Anthem Necklace. We only have 5 of these in stock, Jenna said. They're on sale now, and you'll get an additional 20%. I cannot tell you how much I love this. I am like not letting go. That's my life right there. That's my life right there. See that? That's my life. Probably your life too. Then I got He Is Risen circle earrings. Beautiful for Easter. It's an Austrian crystal, real crystal, and it says He is risen right there. Surgical steel as well, won't make your ear green or anything. And Jenna said we're doing a big jewelry blowout sale. So on that stuff, plus anything else that's jewelry, you're going to get 20% off. 20% all day and all day tomorrow until midnight with an automatic discount, no code needed, and free US shipping, which is like $8-9. So it's really incredible. Also, taking back our health. You'll understand, guys. This is talk about authentic, the people that I'm not going to go further into that. I want to get to this. Reformation Rebels, that's Saturday. So Friday at 7:00 is Prayer Connection. Saturday at 7:00, YouTube, Rumble, and the Gathering Facebook. Reformation Rebels. Oh, don't miss this night. And then on thegatheringmovement.org, our new website, He is Still on the Throne. That's our national gathering in Avon, Indiana, June 20th, 1 to 6. I don't know how much longer. We just put the time up there and we'll see what happens. But you can get free tickets right now on thegatheringmovement.org. Go to Gathering and you'll go down the page and you'll see, you click the poster and you get free tickets. I hope we meet a lot of new people there. I know our regulars will be there. We know who to expect at these gatherings, people that come all the time. To help us with all of this stuff, please go to joincountry.com. You can even go to Delora's Closet or go to the description below. This necklace I love. I'm putting it back on. I got to go out and go shopping, but I'm putting this one back on. I love it. Anyway, love you all dearly. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to hit this again. Have an awesome week, guys. The rest of your week. I'll see you Friday night on the Prayer Connection. We're praying for healing for your body, health, healing for your soul, healing for the nation. We're just praying for a lot of healing. So it's going to be an awesome night. And until then, remember, my God, this is not a saying for me. This is my life. Please go in the power of God. Love you. Bye, everybody.